she might not be able to tell them how to, not how to think, but how to look at it in this way, because she's narrow-minded herself.
But then, do you know what? I tried to be equal with it. A few things. Don't get me wrong, like, right now, look, for us to progress as people, we can't look at race. We got to try and be better. Do you know what I mean? Like, we have to, but black people have, and so I keep saying black people, that minorities have an image in our heads that white people don't like us. And we paint everyone with the same brush when we shouldn't, because everyone is different. But that is the mentality.
Yeah.
The same way, wrong, and the difference is I think that comes from the response
You get.
of, not even just that, okay, looking at it in order, like, we assume like white people disliked minorities. They took over they took over the world. They went to all the different continents, took over the world.
Yeah.
They are in every continent. They control every continent.
Yeah.
More like every continent. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they don't have to be British.
Yeah.
Just
be anywhere.
you know, you're white. As far as you're white, European.
Okay.
Europe took over everywhere.
Yeah.
They didn't take, and they took over, and not necessarily Africa they enslaved, but they took over everywhere else. Like India, they stole everything, like from everyone. So the fault is you don't, and instead of just doing it and like fuck it, I did this, you made people feel like they were worthless.
Yeah.
You made people think that you were superior.
Yeah.
You changed their history.
Yeah.
You did this. Now the people of this generation did not do that.
They cannot be held accountable.
They can't, but they're not aware that most of the things they were taught is from that, and that carries on till now.
Yeah, even if it's subconscious.
So if you're gonna, like, if you see, there's a difference between, like, I've got a friend, and he said to me, when he was in school, he said, the people were racist. He goes, his friends were racist. And I don't remember what point he said, he realized he can't be that way. He must just have a really good heart. But sometimes I feel like he feels he has to prove to me he's not like that. Do you know what I'm saying? But he's aware that certain things were drilled into his head to think that minorities are bad. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, I think that is the progress where you know that you've been taught things that are wrong and you're open. See, because that's what it was about the test. Is the solution to say, do you know what? I'm white and I've got it better than everyone else and they've got it worse. This still goes on and we need to change this. Was that the right answer? Like, that is...
No. In my opinion, I think it was... Do you remember the towards the end of the test, there was one woman who said what she's learned from it is that, look, when she grew up, there was no one, there weren't ethnic minorities around, let alone in her school. Whereas her children have learned to grow up and work with ethnic minorities and, you know, be raised with them essentially in school. So she's saying she's still trying to get to grips with it.
Yeah.
But she's trying, but she actually can understand now why people see the world the way they do. But what it is that I just think, you mentioned your friend, for example. If it just takes that one person, it starts.
But I think there's a difference, though. There's a difference between learning about other cultures and assuming other cultures are bad. Because that is what was taught to people.
Yeah.
To a lot of white people, that these races aren't good, and it's not their fault that they were taught. But when you that's like, it's like fire. Don't touch fire. That's what you're taught all of the time. It takes certain experiences to show that fire can be used for good things. But originally, from young, you're taught, don't touch that shit. Don't touch it until you're at an age where you can deal with this shit. Do you know what I'm saying? They're taught, don't hang around with these minorities, but they're not taught to, at some age, you know, you're gonna be all right. You can mix, you can have kids with these people. You know what I'm saying? Don't bring them home. Don't bring home no... I'm not going to be happy if you're with that minority or that minority.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's not black and white, like, they're bad. But it's the little things.
Yeah.
And then the media don't help either. Do you know what I'm saying? How they change everything. Now, it's nobody's fault. But the day you realise that this is going on, and you accept it, and no one's saying that you're. And see, that's the thing. Us saying they're racist, so that makes it fucking 10 times because everyone gets their back up. But you have to look at it like, imagine everybody assumed I was everything you thought I was in a negative way. Imagine everyone your race thinks that about me. Do I have a chance to succeed?
No, you wouldn't, because they've written you off before you've even had the chance. But then,
And because you control the world,
yeah,
like in the back of all of your minds, even if you're not the level of racism or not, me trying to make it in all these different nations, with you thinking that at the back of your mind, whether it's your fault or not, I ain't gonna hire someone who walks up in there loud or got a criminal. I'm not gonna hire someone like that. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do that. So I know you ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
And even if you don't hate my race, or you still eat Caribbean food, or you like my music, are you gonna hire me for a job? Are you gonna allow me to make millions? Are you gonna allow me to risk bringing in people to better my race when you assume we're all bad? No, because once he does it, he's gonna bring everybody. But I can't. But he's a good one. He's one of the good ones.
Yeah.
But I can't risk everyone else being like that.
That's one thing that we're never ever going to be able to change. We can't change.
What in the whole? I think slowly. But
the only way it can happen is if it happens to you. So if someone's daughter or their child comes back and says, "Mom, this is the person I want to marry," and that person happens to be an ethnic minority, they might not be happy initially with it, but at the end of the day, they got to get used to it because this is the person that your child has chosen to be with forever. So it's going to change the dynamics of the whole family. For example, you could end up having biracial children, mixed race children, which would be kind of like it. The point I'm trying to make is that the only way people understand is if it happens to them.
yeah, of course.
So I guess what we need to do then is, if these certain experiences do happen to people, they need to speak to other people who've not experienced this and explain to them how that situation made them feel at that point and why they would never, for example, say or do something of that nature again because they feel that it doesn't bring good results.
See, but then even then, that's the thing. But on top of that, yeah, when it comes to mixed race people, I hear it's very rare. I hear someone say, yeah, they know they're black or white or Asian or whatever. They know they're mixed, but they more gravitate towards one side. And although it makes sense because of how you're raised or whatever, a lot of people that are mixed race claim one side. A majority of them claim one side. The same way how people say Obama is black when he has white in him. Do you know what I'm saying? You're mixed. You're best of both worlds. The best of it. The best of it. When it comes to genes, you're the best of it. But you're claiming one side. The sheer fact that we take someone who's only half black here, and it's progress, because it's not someone who's just white, I suppose. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we're halfway there.
Yeah.
But they think we're there.
But,
and if we, the only reason you think we're there is because you are not claiming someone who has black in him.
Yeah.
Like, just half, like, he ain't white. He's white. He's got white in him.
But I think where we have to look at the progress, though, is the fact that the shade is darker than white. That's how it starts.
Fam, I'm not partying in the street and letting off firecrackers, fam, for that.
Yeah, but we're not going to be here for that. That's what you have to understand.
What, for a black president?
Like, for the full acceptance, that will take hundreds of years, in my opinion. We won't be here to see it, but it will probably happen. But what we've got to remember is that even in our time now, we're kind of blessed to even see this, even though, because what you have to remember is, for example, when it comes to Obama, is that the majority of Americans picked him to be president. Now the
minorities, isn't it?
Yeah, but the minorities are nowhere near the amount as
of the actual people.
White people, for example.
Yeah.
So white people.
It's still 50-50 though.
It's not 50-50.
Fam, did you see the last one? What's it called? I'm saying rounding it down. Not the first one when he had to do the second term.
Yeah.
I swear it was like the polls were like he won by like 54%.
To 46 or whatever.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's more or less 50-50.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? But, so that means you still got... No, but then I don't want to say it like, because he's black. I don't want to make it black and white because you don't know the politics and that. You don't know. So maybe they're not voting because it's race.
Exactly. That's probably the best time to judge
that
him.
even shows that my mentality can be like Do you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
a bit fucked up. The
Yeah.
fact that I'm only looking at black and white. And people only voting for him because he's black. I think a lot of minorities voted for him because he was mixed race.
Yeah, I think initially, in the first term, but in the second term, they've had his CV, so to speak, of the last 4 years.
But he didn't do better than the first time.
Of what he's actually done.
But he didn't do better than the
He
first
hasn't
time.
finished it, so how can we say he's done better if he hasn't finished it?
No, but he's not gonna. He can't go through another voting system. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's
What,
done.
right now?
No, he's done after this.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
But
is...
I'm saying in the first
that's-
term,
yeah.
I swear he got better votes than in the second one.
Yeah.
So it went down.
Yeah, probably it did. But what the point I'm trying to make is that second term when he got voted in, that's probably a truer reflection of how they actually feel, because they've seen him after 4 years, seen what he's done over that time, and then you decide yes or no whether you feel he's done what he said he's done, or whether the changes that he's made, whether you agree with them. So at that point you're like, oh well, Obama said he was going to do this, he's done this. You know what? I think I'm going to vote for him to have another have another term, because he's done the things that he said he would. Whereas initially in the first term, when he was just a candidate,
Yeah.
it is quite obvious that he probably would have been voted in because he was black. But again, at the same time, when you take into consideration the Republican side, the guy who was going up against him was like a dinosaur, fam. He was bare old. So first, that people probably think he hasn't got that longevity, and they might not agree with all of his beliefs. But with
I suppose Obama done what he's done the best he can do with the power he has.
yeah, same as anyone else has. George Bush decided to go into the Middle East countries and try and invade them because he thought, because he thought at the time that was right. Okay, whether or not it was right, that's open to interpretation. But if they believe that they were right at that time, who's gonna tell them any different? How can you make me see another way if I believe the way I went, the path I took was right?